Travis from Travis's Spice and Life. Tonight I am making a simple play on surf and turf. For the turf side of things, I'm using a chuck eye steak, also known as the poor man's ribeye or the butcher's cut. Super awesome flavor, fairly inexpensive, great weeknight steak. For the surf side of things, using a lobster stuffed ravioli. You can find these in basically every grocery store across the country. Great inexpensive side dish to many different things. For the seasoning on the steak, I am using a New Orleans Cajun, kind of doing a blackened spin on things. And this buttery steakhouse from Kinder's, this stuff is awesome. It tastes like you cooked your steak in butter for the entire time, basting it with butter. Awesome flavor, highly recommend. What I like to do for my sauces, when I have a side dish with a red sauce, is find a good base sauce that you like. I love the Classico traditional sweet basil. It's awesome, great starter base. And then what I do is I add to it. I'll put in some garlic, saute that for a little bit, put in my sauce, add a bunch of basil, a bunch of oregano, and some crushed red pepper. Just kind of spice it up a bit. Nothing crazy, just adds a fun spin to things. More to come. Okay, so we are on to the next steps here. We're going to sear the steak. So we have a piping hot skillet. Gonna put that in here. You're gonna hear a good old sizzle. Okay. And we're gonna let that sit. We're not gonna touch it until it gets a really good crust on that side. Then we'll flip her over. Now I would normally, like on a weekend, do some butter, some thyme, some rosemary, some different things, and baste. You don't need to do all that. This is going to do a really good job on its own, just searing it and getting a really good crust on both sides. So probably going to keep things simple with it being just a Monday night meal. Yeah, more steps to come. All right, so we are going to do the flip now. So we should hopefully have a really good crust on the bottom side. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, very nice. Really good crust, so kind of swoosh that around a little bit. Some good garlic in there. Now we're gonna let that side sit for a few minutes. All right, so next step, we are putting a blue cheese crumble on top of the steak. We'll broil that for just a few minutes. If you don't like blue cheese, don't think that you wouldn't like it on steak. It's awesome. So we're gonna take these out. Hopefully we have a nice blue cheese crust on there. That looks really, really good. So we kind of have a blackened Cajun steak with a blue cheese crust. Almost done. All right, so next up we're gonna put in our lobster raviolis into our salted boiling water. These go very quickly, so once they float to the top, they are done.